Welcome to this explainer. Have you ever started a brand new health protocol? Maybe you optimized your sleep, completely overhauled your diet, or finally committed to that Zone 2 training, and instead of feeling like $1,000,000, you just feel inexplicably worse. Your sleep gets totally weird, your energy suddenly tanks, and you're just left sitting there wondering if you're doing something terribly, terribly wrong. Well, I am absolutely thrilled to tell you that you are likely doing everything exactly right. Today, we're decoding the 6 widely misunderstood signs of mitochondrial repair. So why on earth does getting healthier sometimes feel, well, worse? It's a hugely relatable question. We just naturally assume that if a health protocol is working, our progress should be this nice, peaceful, straight line upward. Every week should feel better than the last, right? But the reality? Cellular healing isn't a peaceful, linear, upward path at all. It is a chaotic, incredibly active biological construction zone. While you're just going about your day, your damaged mitochondria aren't quietly getting better. The source material puts it perfectly. Mitochondrial repair is a vigorous, destructive process involving structural changes, protein rebuilding, and strict quality control. What this means is that those incredibly frustrating symptoms you're feeling right now, the fatigue, the weird sleep, the crazy cravings, they aren't failures, absolutely not. They are highly sophisticated, medically proven signs that your body is currently upgrading its cellular machinery. You just haven't known how to read the language of your cells until today.
Okay, let's dive into this. First up, we're looking at the physical shifts, specifically heat and recovery. Let's talk about the surprising physical sensations that hit when your body starts cleaning house. Here is a shocking biological fact that almost no one tells you. Healthy mitochondria actually run at a scorching 50 degrees Celsius, literally hot enough to cook an egg, and way, way hotter than your standard 37-degree core body temperature. And this isn't some biological mistake. It's a strict evolutionary design requirement. The enzymes inside your mitochondria desperately need this intense heat just to produce ATP energy efficiently. So when your mitochondria are damaged, they lose their ability to maintain this heat. But as they repair, they get denser, they get more efficient, and that heat production cranks right back up. That is exactly why the very first sign of cellular repair is suddenly noticing that your hands and feet are unusually warm, even when you're just sitting completely still.
Now, you might also experience a pretty frustrating symptom early on. You do a workout that really shouldn't be that hard, but your muscles just fatigue so fast and you get sore way quicker than usual. You might immediately think, oh great, I'm losing my fitness. But the reality is completely different. Your cells are actually going through a process called fission. Your mitochondria are literally splitting apart to isolate damaged DNA. It's like a cellular boot camp. This controlled splitting releases a massive spike in targeted oxidative stress, which is a beneficial stress signal that basically screams at your cells to build better, stronger mitochondria immediately. And this brilliantly illustrates the hidden magic of that early muscle soreness. When you push those repairing muscles, they produce lactate. For the longest time, we thought lactate was just waste, right? But it's actually a super powerful messenger. That lactate travels safely away from your sore muscles, directly crosses the blood-brain barrier, and literally signals your brain to grow new neurons. No way, right? Even better, because your mitochondria are actively upgrading, your physical recovery time for that soreness shrinks drastically, going from maybe 2 or 3 days of hobbling around down to just 12 to 20 hours. Faster soreness, incredibly rapid recovery, and a boosted brain all in one.
Section 2. Mental hurdles. We're talking sleep and brain fog.
All right, we have to talk about the mental hurdles. Honestly, these are often the most terrifying signs of repair, and it's exactly why so many people needlessly abandon their routines right before the magic happens. Let's address the dreaded 3 a.m. wake-up. You're sound asleep, and suddenly, boom, your eyes pop wide open. You are completely awake for about 5 to 15 minutes. Naturally, a lot of people panic and think they've just developed clinical insomnia. But listen, if you are lying awake without racing thoughts, without anxiety, and you actually fall back asleep easily and wake up rested, that is not insomnia. That's just your biological clock actively recalibrating itself through an enzyme reset.
It turns out this whole midnight wake-up happens because of a truly fascinating enzyme called SIRT1. Think of SIRT1 as your cell's very own master timekeeper. It completely depends on a molecule called NAD+ to run your circadian rhythm. When your mitochondria were damaged, your NAD+ levels were low, meaning your body clock was kind of sluggish. But as your mitochondria repair themselves, NAD floods back into the system, totally supercharging SIRT1. This massive jolt of energy forces your biological clock to reset itself, and that sudden adjustment causes a temporary glitch in your sleep architecture, almost always right around 3 a.m. It's literally just your body setting the clocks right. Which perfectly explains the dreaded brain fog. Why do you suddenly feel like you can't even find your words during week 2 or 3 of a new routine? Well, your body is incredibly strict about prioritizing its repairs. Building new mitochondria takes massive amounts of energy and protein. So the body assigns its resources to skeletal muscle first, because muscle is your biggest metabolic engine. Next in line comes the liver. And dead last? Yep, it's the brain. Because your neurons temporarily have less energy while they undergo their own cellular splitting, you get a temporary mental sluggishness. But seriously, do not panic. This fog is the immediate precursor to a massive cognitive breakthrough once the brain finally gets its turn for resources. Section 3. Visible proof. Let's look at your skin and your cravings.
Moving past those hurdles, we start seeing some absolutely amazing systemic benefits. These happen deep down at the microscopic level, but they end up manifesting beautifully in your mirror and in your daily choices. Get ready for a mind-blowing statistic to prove it. 95%. That is the percentage of your body's melatonin that is actually produced inside your mitochondria, not in your brain's pineal gland. And in your cells, this melatonin doesn't make you sleepy at all. It acts as a local cellular bodyguard. It instantly neutralizes the free radicals created during energy production before they can damage your cells or age your skin.
And the skin benefits definitely don't stop there thanks to something called MOD-C. Now, MOD-C is this fascinating peptide encoded directly inside your mitochondrial DNA. When your mitochondria repair, they pump this peptide out into your blood, where it acts as a powerful hormone to massively increase your whole body insulin sensitivity. Why does this matter for what you see in the mirror? Because better insulin sensitivity means lower average blood sugar, which stops the glycation, or sugaring, of your collagen. You'll literally start seeing faster wound healing, better skin elasticity, and this glowing complexion weeks before the weight scale ever even budges.
But hey, what if, right alongside those skin changes, you are desperately craving a donut? It is so incredibly easy to blame a lack of willpower here, but reaching for that sugar is actually a literal distress signal. When mitochondria are damaged, they actually forget how to efficiently burn fat for fuel. So they send a chemical SOS straight to your hypothalamus saying, hey, we can't burn fat, we need fast-burning glucose right now just to survive. Your sudden sugar craving isn't a character flaw, it's a direct translation of a cellular emergency.
This brings us to the most incredible transformation of the whole shebang, the permanent reprogramming of your cravings. It all happens through the gut-brain mitochondria axis. As your health improves, the good bacteria in your gut digest the fiber you're eating. Then, these bacteria produce a short-chain fatty acid called butyrate. And finally, that butyrate travels straight into your cells, acting as a premium fuel for your mitochondria, while simultaneously signaling them to multiply. Your gut literally teaches your mitochondria what they actually need, and your brain starts genuinely craving those nourishing proteins, fibers, and healthy fats instead of that quick sugar fix.
Section 4. Your cellular repair timeline. Let's break down when this all happens. So here is your chronological roadmap so you know exactly when to expect these messy but deeply necessary biological upgrades. Weeks 1 and 2. This is the skeletal muscle phase. You're going to notice the heat in your hands and feet, plus that early soreness and rapid recovery we talked about. Weeks 2 and 3. Okay, you enter the danger zone. This is exactly when the 3 a.m. wake-ups and the heavy brain fog hit. Based on everything we've just uncovered, you must absolutely not quit during week 3. By weeks 4 to 6, the fog finally clears, your brain gets super sharp, and your skin starts to clear up and glow. Finally, weeks 6 through 10. The gut-brain axis catches up, and your cravings effortlessly shift away from sugar and toward healthy foods. Section 5. Tracking your healing journey.
Now that you know the timeline, how do you know if it's actually working for you? Well, here's a concrete, actionable scoring system to measure your invisible cellular progress right at home. You just rate yourself weekly on a simple 1 to 5 scale. For heat, gauge your resting hand and foot warmth. For recovery, track how many hours it takes you to bounce back from muscle soreness. For sleep, note the duration of any 3 a.m. wakefulness. Are you falling back asleep in 15 minutes? And for fog, score your mental clarity right at that notorious 2 p.m. slump. Tracking these 4 specific areas over 8 weeks reveals a much more accurate story of your deep cellular healing than any traditional weight scale ever could.
So, the absolutely crucial point I want you to take away is this. The fog will clear. The weird sleep will stabilize. Do not quit in week 3. That temporary discomfort you are feeling isn't a sign that your body is failing you or that the protocol has broken. It is the ultimate, undeniable proof that your protocol is working beautifully and your mitochondria are actively rebuilding a better, much stronger version of you.
The only question left is this. Are you ready to endure the messy middle of cellular repair to finally meet your upgraded self? The blueprint is inside your cells right now, just waiting for you to trust the process. Thanks for joining me in this explainer, and I absolutely can't wait to see you next time.